I can't say that.
Well, at least they have Cloud9's number if you're looking at the series so far. And here we go. The pistol round underway between these two teams. Do or die, as Goldenboy has just mentioned. A mirror composition from both of these teams.
A late wall coming down here for Bob to just cut off the A site entirely. All 10 players in the server are very much realizing that this is an A-hit Sage. That wall should allow Jazzy to get the spike down.
So you talk about Bob. Key component, key player to this Cloud9 roster on this map. First point of contact, spawning at least 2 players on the rotate and on the flank.
The communications coming through. You see Bob just readjusting her positioning, knowing that there's so many members flanking.
A knife comes out, and it's gonna be the advantage that comes back in favor of Shopify Rebellion. Bob by her lonesome. The first contact and the last one to try to clutch. The first headshot, the swing it on the second does not work out. Flowerful saves her opponent, and Shopify Rebellion
into map 3 here. Fast retakes for them.
Yeah, and a triple flank on Icebox on mid. Something that Boaster, who should be happy watching, and we'll just talk about that a little bit later. It's a quick push from C9, pushing now into this B site. It works out on a force buy, a drive-by to come in from Jazzikins, but the spike is now down. Mel trying to put utility down, and it's just going back and forth. The advantage back in favor of the defenders, but now the trap is out. Katsumi now slowed. A spike out in the open. Here comes the first contact, but it's still going to be Sonder, not needing any help.
Across your screen that fast, things can get hectic, but
if you look at that storyline, in terms of Shopify Rebellion, Cloud9 White, when they had to face a third map, especially now being on Icebox, you're starting to maybe think this might be doable here for Shopify Rebellion to get the upset victory on LAN against Cloud9, especially now that Bob has fallen into this third round.
oh boy. LAN. Sonder was telling GB that she felt like her soul was in the bullets whenever they leave her gun. We'll see if her soul is able to secure this one, but Bob already getting taken out by that Bulldog. It's gonna make Cloud9 slow things down once again. They really want to find some sort of opening frag here. Give themselves some sort of chance into this one. Alexis is just gonna creep forward.
And that's big. That's 2 pieces of utility used by Shopify Rebellion that's been dodged by C9, so you're playing in darkness for Shopify on defense. This might allow here C9 to at least leverage Jazzikins' wall to go for a plant when they've lost Bob, to try to split up a site on a hit. And that's C9 slowly creeping up here. 3 players moving closer and closer towards this A site. Now finally spotted. The knife to counter back just to not allow any utilities to come out. But snake bites and shock darts are already landing on the ground. Low HP is going to be Jazzikins. And 17 seconds left on the clock. Finally, we're starting to plant, and we're going to get it.
This flank for Mel just gets denied before it even starts. Running Spectre to come through. Cloud9, though, they got the money. Lorri wants to just secure it.
Oh, yeah, she's smiling as she's running it down. Jazzikins trying to land onto 2, but it's not going to work. That's Shopify Rebellion coming into this third map with a lot of confidence and a lot of attitude.
As they should. That A site defense looked good, sure.
Eco, of course, because you're just trying to get that plant down. But on this gun round, you want to try to figure out how Shopify will approach this round. It's aggressive towards B.
Very aggressive. Lorri, 2 members. Oh, Jazzy, that little crouch, that little tuck. And she even gets res online as well. 2 huge openings. The drone should push Flowerful off, but she feels like she's got to do more.
Flash doesn't even blind her, and she will do more. Finally, TP's away with 13 HP remaining. Meanwhile, KP pressing forward in a different part of the map, denied on mid by Mel. 2-player advantage for C9, as now it's time to move in. The res was already coming up from Cloud9. So we will have the Sage wall plant. No flanks as of yet for Shopify. We're just going to try to work together towards orange.
And Flowerful is so low, just biding her time, waiting for bENITA to kind of catch up with her. And this is all about the headshots.
Oh! All good. She has support from Yellow's katsumi gets the kill onto Flowerful. Alexis trying to get a fragment onto at least the left side of the wall.
And get a multi-kill with that Vandal. Alexis has the ultimate online. Now, these double initiators, both teams have these mirror comps. That's a lot of information, and it's a lot of B main control. Even though the Viper's pick goes down, oh, that's a lot of HP. You know Sonder's going to be going back to try to get that heal from Lorri right now.
And indeed she will. Owl Drone to look back towards the Viper's pit. And as we hear that Owl Drone from the ears of bENITA, 2 players are now rotating back towards this B site. But we talked about this KO ultimate here. This would be perfect to try to counter out and figure out where flowerful is playing this duel de force so they could actually overpower wherever she is.
C9 White was not able to get what they wanted. They had to utilize the drone, and they didn't get any space for it. Hardly any information. bENITA feeling very comfortable, and that knife coming out from her teammate should give her a lot more information as well. B main is very clear. You can see the rotations coming through as well from KP.
There's a KO ult. The charge from Cloud9 to move inside the A site. Underhand flashes, Sonder full blinded, but she's hiding behind the wall. But Jazikin still able to drop a few, trying to avenge her teammates, but Lorri just stands her ground in the back of the A site. Meanwhile, the rotate from bENITA, stopped by Bob's lurk that you mentioned, Christine. But after the null command,
1 enemy remaining.
we're able to get the kill off the duel de force. A res up, Bob on a clutch situation, but only 10 seconds left.
10 seconds left.
She has to commit now. The Owl Drone to ping her too. You have to land those shots. There's that first one, but there's no more time. flowerful to even add insult to injury, gets the kill with the duel de force. And we
Close there at the end.
It's another look here on defense for Shopify. A wall up towards B long. Knife is gonna break, but there's still 2 players holding here for the Rebels. As at least on the A side, it's a little bit more passive on the hold on defense.
And Mel is really trying to create some sort of distraction. You can see that C9 White on top of this belt area, they really want to punish some sort of a push. Shopify's playing very disciplined though. They know the money is funky. This is such a huge round in this first half. That knife towards yellow should give C9 some information, but with all this B main control, being able to see down so deep, the knife doesn't put enough pressure.
But it actually forced to rotate. So when we had Sonder and KP playing towards the back of the A side, Sonder already rotated towards Boiler. But the op shot misses here as Mel was trying to work back for a pick into B long.
Yeah, and this solidifies the A defenders. Nobody rotating. 3 members with a bunch of utility to stop this plant.
30 seconds
So Alexis
left.
running behind the Owl Drone. Nice flash allows Jazzikins to get first blood. Alexis already pushing forwards towards screens and is just going to try to slow things down, at least from an aggressive push on the top of heaven. 18 seconds left. A plant that goes back on the top of the A tower as she repels back towards the top of 410 on this 5 versus 3 in favor of Cloud9.
This time, no flankers in sight. That should allow Cloud9 to be able to solidify a better post in these crossfires. flowerful, what a shot.
bENITA slowly inching out towards top of heaven through the toxic screen.
1 enemy remaining.
Alexis at 5 HP, but it's all the work of Bob for the 2 kills previous.
So much information, even though it kind of might have felt like C9 were in that area, Shopify Rebellion were able to sniff out that there was nobody there.
And with this round, trying to find that information towards B-Long, as you just mentioned, a 0 point that came out from Sonder that is going to spot Mel, but just Mel alone. And with this roster and this lineup that you currently have from C9, you could have the lurks from Mel, you could have the lurks from Bob. So we're still holding and standing our ground here for Shopify on an eco.
Double shorties on the side for Shopify. You saw bENITA just lurking in her own smoke. Bob definitely has an inkling that something is going on in mid here. She smells something funny.
Standing ahead.
Oh boy.
Run!
With a shorty! And stopped. I was...
That is a nightmare,
my
man.
boots were
That is
quaking for a bit.
nightmare.
My boots were definitely quaking for a bit, but we avert the crisis. We drop 3 for Cloud9 against Shopify Rebellion. So a disadvantage for the defenders as they're split across the map. Lorri and KP, 1 at middle,
30 seconds
1 in
left.
the back of the B site, while C9 is looking for this plant inside B. Managed to pop 1, maybe even 2. KP gets the 145 onto Bob. but that's gonna be it. No 2 kills, but at least the econ damage forcing a couple of armors to get rebought into this.
And those kinds of timings, those are the best frags when you're a Vipers.
Yeah.
Finding those frags in the back and really leaning into the rat style. So we'll see if Bob kind of livens up and heats up as this game goes on. Flowerful back into this angle.
Exactly. For Shopify Rebellion, they're still leaning towards the aggression at the A nest. Doubling up here for a pick into A main if C9 will try to walk over in that area. Knife continues towards this B on the top of yellow. Just repositioning bENITA at the start.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not a fan of this doubling up with Chamber and KO together. It's so dangerous to get instantly traded out. Chamber can get away with that TP. We've seen time and time again on this map, if you're traded this forward on defense, it can get quite dicey. Flowerful's able to TP out, and this should make Sonder rethink things.
Especially from the 0 point that was thrown by Sonder, that allows the operator Flowerful to reposition on the top of a rafters. Counter knife out on the attack though.
Mel heard that sound cue. She's hiding right behind another trip, and she's just gonna bide her time. Look at the rotations coming. She's sending her team back towards that B site so that she can find a rotator on the tap.
Will the rotate happen? Will he go through towards the back of kitchen? But so far, it's just gonna have to be the battle and the hold from bENITA in the back of the B site. The wall is up.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
We're pushing through the smoke. Nice flash from Alexis to get the kill. This should allow the plant out for spawn, and you talked about that rotate. Mel catches one and continues to push forward. Punished by Flowerful, but we're still pushing towards the spawn. And it's just the operator left, and she's gonna pull back.
Yeah, she's gotta try to save. Oh man, what a round coming out here for Cloud9. And I love the snowman push, right? Those communications came through. You could clearly see it on the minimap. Mel was in such a power position, and the rest of the squad showed up. As the tap happens, the snowman swing happens, Mel goes into the kitchen, and it's a 2-prong attack there. Beautiful stuff for Cloud9. And again, it came...
With 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yes.
If bENITA was able to land any type of shot, it might have delayed some things, and it could have been dangerous here for Cloud9. That's one thing to look out for C9, where Shopify could take advantage of the time.
Process of elimination, figure out where the defenders are. You can make a quick exec like this.
The Vipers pit into the defense, and it looks like it's going to be on the top of 410. A little bit of a Pac-Man on that mini-map. So now C9 White looking to get an opening into green with an Aldrone pinging onto Flowerful, and she's standing her ground.
Oh, this healer, Jazzykins, getting picked off there.
No res.
No res on the table. And Cloud9, they wanted a lot more than what they got. They had to extend both initiators' utility to try to get that control. They get bullied off the issue, and now they're turning tail. This timing between Mel and these mid players, this pinch, it's got to work for C9.
A 3 now walk across this poison
KP's
orb.
so aware.
She has the drone.
Oh no.
Oh no, the timing off
Oh
it. They're gonna get her.
no.
KP falls, but Sonder fights back towards screens. Looking to fall back into the safety of the Viper's pit as bENITA couldn't get the... Well, actually got the kill onto the lurk from Mel, into that pit. And it's a 4. Make that even a 5.
And they're
as Lorri
completely
gets
surrounded.
a res.
They're
Indeed.
completely surrounded. 2 versus 4. That dart, Alexis is able to respond though.
Sign to pop off. And that's Bob could go for the spray onto the 2 kills. Shopify Rebellion on a 5-player retake. You talked about a pinch onto the A site, but it just turned out to be a re-pinch here from Shopify.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do better. Shopify coming out so strong, and Cloud9, they've got to rethink for this last round how they want to approach this B main. You know, I keep talking about both initiators using that much utility to get the ground, but they haven't been able to get the ground. They've got to force this chamber to TP away so that they can actually have something.
Yeah, you definitely get it from 2 right now, too. If it's Mel on mid, Bob's on one side, Bob's on mid, Mel's on another end, and you talk about this lurk, but it's going to get spotted by the L drone. Meanwhile, though, an early res coming out towards the A site as Flowerful got first contact towards Belt. Maybe they're trying to go for a fast swing out to at least trade off against the operator. But still a 5 versus 5.
And C9, they know it's only the chamber back site right now. That's all the drone saw. So it's going to encourage them to go forward a little bit more. Spike actually going to get planted this time.
Yeah, this time we're relentless for C9. Quick plant into A. It's going to be a full 5 versus 5. Dual defense and operator both in the hands of Mel.
The mind game's going on right now. Viper versus Viper in the back line as this retake is going through Sonder. Full set of utility, but she gets taken out.
That's 1 down, 4 to go for C9 to get the round, but here comes a big knife, and we're trying to jump for some info. Great positioning for C9, and we're just dropping like flies. It doesn't work out. It turns out to be a flawless pulse plant to digest from that first half into this second one, but we'll talk about that in a bit. We already have a repel from Mel. Now on the defense for C9 on the top of the A nest.
The sound cue. I wonder if the sound cue came through. It does seem like Shopify have an inkling. They have an idea that somebody's close, and Sonder punishes.
That was the question that we had. One of the things from Hypoc where we try to play a little bit more aggressively for C9.
So much damage.
SR did, and indeed, right click though from Jazzikins. We're pushing out from the green boxes, and C9 hold their ground on pistol. Only flowerful left, trying to look back towards the belt on a 3 versus 1, but man, started very, very aggressive, just like the first pistol round here, Christine. But flowerful, we've seen her do this before.
Aggression all the way. We certainly have seen flowerful pull these rabbits out of the hat. She's got the ghost on her back, full HP, and the jig is up for both sides. That's a lot of a shoulder. Ooh, there was a chance for sure for flowerful. We saw a force in the first half this time. Shopify decide not to do so.
Yeah, no plan. So another knife comes in.
Ooh, she
Bob's
got it.
gonna break it. Trying to be the first point of contact now at green with this Spectre. If she needs to fall back, there's support from Jazzikins with a slow orb. But Bob opts to just fall back slowly. A tap onto an orb. And off that jiggle peak, that's information on at least 2.
They choose to get the orb onto the back of Sonder. Definitely helps out on these execs. Flowerful's got the headhunter. It seems like Shopify want to regroup back. And if they get the timing right and the swarm factor is on Shopify's side with this sage wall, the plant, it's always a possibility.
You already see the recon dart being prepped up by KP, getting ready to throw it in the back of the site. Marshall from Mel, 2 kills out. As Alexis playing on the top of 410, blinds a lot. Katsumi swings on the other end of Maze. And that is gonna be a prime giving flawless for C9 White. To this game where it seems as though it was really going back and forth. We had to have some impressive calls by Mel to make it a 6-6. But now for Shopify Rebellion, can KP answer back? The strat now is to run it down towards this B site and push Bob away back into the current bonus round that C9 currently has.
Yeah, the way Bob was playing this made it really look like she was all alone, and Shopify, they've completely read that. They forced the spike down. It's just Bob. Now her teammates are regrouping with her. And look at bENITA's positioning. This is a strong post-plant positioning here for Shopify.
Good play from C9 White, at least to start things off, to fully break the wall, so there's no shenanigans to play around an extra piece of obstacle to play on this retake attempt from Cloud9 White. Fragment onto the ground. Counter knives going back and forth, but Katsumi still gets first blood. Now we're trying to answer back. We're just running and gunning. C9 trying to fight back on a 2 versus 1. And finally,
And again, I think the way that Bob approached the beginning of this round, it was just too telling. There's just too many tells in her movements, the way that she looked shook after she got tagged, fell back into the site. Sometimes when you get tagged, you just hold your ground. You stand your ground and you make it look like there's a lot more people there than just you. So Shopify, nice read and decisive execution here.
Yeah, and I saw that from Bob too, trying to break that sage wall and get the snake bite down, but because she was blocked by the toxic screen and Flash, couldn't actually break the wall, so couldn't delay to allow C9 to rotate back. That said, though, pretty impressive for Shopify Rebellion and even C9 on that bonus. So go into a round where we're seeing a little bit of pressure towards that mid-A site, and Mel almost connects onto that shot on Sonder.
Almost a haircut for Sonder. Bob trying to maintain this control of this B main. Cloud9 White weren't as successful in this B main control. KP's already used her drone and her dart. Oh, nice utility coming out here for Shopify. Love the layering.
Whew.
Wow.
You talked about that she had to stand her ground where she got pinged out, but couldn't win that fight against bENITA here as the plant goes down for Shopify Rebellion. Passive plays, full post plant angles being played by Shopify Rebellion, all focused towards green. Oh, we have a late lurk here from KP on mid.
Exactly. KP's always going to be ready for that insurance plan. flowerful's able to break the knife. That is everything for her. She's going to be able to take a little bit more forward angles and TP away.
And here comes KP moving in slowly. There's that backstab. Katsumi falls. Mel finally answers back with an operator, but it's not going to be too many good shots. All the way from C9.
That Shopify are able to get on this attack side. You saw that dart landing on top of that yellow crane, and as that's landing, a knife lands at the yellow for that further B main control. So Shopify, they are looking confident, and their game plan, it's paying off.
Oh yeah, definitely been in the lab, and the formula works so far to make this very difficult for Cloud9 to try to seal the deal. The favorites now in this head-to-head matchup. But now the underdog story between these two teams. Lots of fans here cheering for Shopify Rebellion for the upset as KP starts things off with the Owl Drone. Does not clear Mel, but this could be one of those moments where you want to try to sell that fake exactly with that. Try to get the Owl Drone. No, it didn't get spotted. But then you swing out from belt, get the kill.
Rewarded that. Oh, that's a nice shot for Jazzy. flowerful didn't even see her there. But it's all good. KP should be able to clean up. Well, no, it's bENITA to steal it.
I mean, you always mention it right now. When it comes to the number of powers that we currently have for Shopify Rebellion, after that first pick onto Mel, then the position on the pulse plant. Silver lining at least. Nice little clean shot from Alexis onto sonder back towards the screen. Oh, okay. Here's the second null command ready. 45 HP left. And finally, we stop her in her tracks. Big gamble, I like to say, in terms of what we're currently purchasing for C9. A glass cannon for Mel. Small shields for 2 players, with the rest having Vandals for Cloud9. Mel pushing up here all the way up, doing the same move as flowerful has been doing on this A site.
Yeah, this is a lot of information for Cloud9, and both squads coming into this one can do so many creative, fun things. Both Hunters Furies online, so much ground and space that you can create. bENITA, though, she's just in this kitchen for free.
Yeah, there's no trap there.
She's
Mel
getting
still,
so much ground.
And Mel still has that trap on her. So was this a mistake? We'll soon find out. The lurk's coming in from bENITA, but it's not even needed. Lorri gets the kill. Hunter's Fury coming out, a ping onto the second one, and it lands off the sonder. But there's that lurk. The jig is up at least for that, and the battle ensues towards the B site. Advantage back in favor of Shopify Rebellion, and full ultimates alive for KP, bENITA, and flowerful.
Viper's Pit is going to go down. The spike is ticking away. Yeah, this duel, this timing for flowerful, this is going to be huge. It does seem like Cloud9 are awares. So much noise.
It's going to be an easy backstab. Trigger discipline on the last 2. Shopify take the lead by 2 now, and again, this is still surprising for me when there was nothing being set up towards kitchen for information.
Yeah, I mean, though, that instant reaction coming from her squad, because as soon as we saw bENITA in kitchen, 3 of her teammates just start walking forward. That sage wall goes down. They hear the Sova drone going off, so they realize, oh shoot, Orange is super weak. Completely just spacing there. And even with Katsumi getting 2 kills with the Hunter's Fury, the round...
If not, Shopify Rebellion is looking into a great position to get the elimination victory.
And we're looking right at Mel to be able to bring and cross it over the finish line. Tour de Force is out on the table. She's been so fantastic this entire series so far. KP is going to start things off with the early Hunter's Fury.
Does get 1 ping in the back of Snowman. But still, for the rest of Shopify, we've made it into the site. Plant then goes down. And Jazz gets picked out for the headshot. Player advantage for C9. They have a null command as well, and a dual defense from Mel, as you mentioned, who's watching that flank. Flicks and misses.
Oh, Mel going down there is going to be so detrimental for Cloud9. bENITA just staying alive. Everyone is blind.
Counter wall, sprays coming out. Big flashes once again from Alexis. As Katsumi's on the other end, catches one in a reload, goes for the backstab. The third kill then onto KP. Only one left. bENITA goes for the spray out of bullets. Katsumi gets the kill. And C9 White, they do manage to get the thrifty.
What a round! What an insane round! Man, the fact that Mel just missed that shot, I was like, oh, GG's. GG's, but the rest of the squad shows up, and strength in that teamwork. You lean on your teammates, and they're able to convert. That's another thrifty in this series. I've lost count of how many thrifties that is.
And that was a great little lurk coming out from Katsumi. It's a mini lurk on the left side, but what I love about C9, exactly, the wall that comes up, it's not... The wall that comes up wasn't a, hey, let's wall and try to defuse right away. They use utility on top of that, flash over that, and fight back. But nonetheless, Shopify Rebellion could still buy in this round.
Okay, the mind games going on in this game so far. KP's been throwing that same shock dart multiple times.
Yes.
Mel doesn't want to just waste her trip, so now she's positioned herself in this kitchen. There's no way Cloud9 want to allow bENITA to get that sort of ground that she did last time. Beautiful timing from Mel, uses the dart to try to re-aggress, get a deeper line.
With that owl drone also.
Ooh.
Was looking to push flowerful away, but it doesn't work out. flowerful swings
her.
back out and punishes her. Indeed. A leg shot onto flowerful, who should be able to get the heal. Actually, she's going to stay towards spawn. Everybody else from Shopify Rebellion is moving towards the A site.
Yeah, but they know Jazzy wants to get this res off, and that's an instant reaction coming out for bENITA. As the rotations come through, she gets an entry onto the A site.
And I rotate towards spawn.
Ooh,
Bob's looking for the flank.
Bob knows.
Trying to clear the corner. Looking back up. Headshot onto flowerful. A 3 versus 3. Res also available for Jazzykins. So we're going to try to group back and work together here for the last 3 players of Cloud9. We also have a res on the opposite end. Shopify Rebellion also playing together. And there's that call. We're going to break that wall. KP still first blood, first contact.
Wow.
Traded back by Alexis onto Sonder. And we're going back and forth. Bob on low HP. Last 2 players falling back now as we're playing now the spike in favor of Shopify Rebellion. Beautifully done in the end. And Shopify Rebellion.
Those flicks are not on Mel's side these last couple of rounds. Even though she gets the leg shot, she gets taken out. flowerful finds the opening, and that just motivates Shopify to be able to close it out on this A execute. Rob Wiz
He's
just
feeling it.
he's satisfied. I would be satisfied.
As we mentioned before, 2 rounds away from what would be one of the greatest victories for Shopify Rebellion so far. Defeating their rival C9 on the big stage here at the VCT Game Changers Championships. And C9 only have 2 Vandals and pistols to work with.
Look at this regress coming out for C9 White. They want to regain this ground. flowerful far away from her TP, but she's good for it.
Playing the off angle as that wasn't cleared out. A mistake from Jazzykins, but still the rifles in the hands of those that are alive. That's Alexis and Bob rotating all the way back towards the A site as Mel's trying to push forward. Spotted by a trademark.
Let's play.
Jig is up. Oh, a little early with the flash, but I like that for bENITA. She wants those eco kills. Give me them.
Repels across, gets the 2 kills, and Bob trying to do anything that she can. It won't work out. Mel forced on a 5 versus 1. Lorri going for the plant.
Spike planted.
And you're going to try to salvage something. Maybe save that Vandal, play for the OT. But she gives her position away. We repel up and catch her on the reload.
They're feeling real good right now. I mean, bENITA had no fear entering into the site, and as soon as that trip got triggered, right? As soon as Mel got that ground at that B main, again, instant reaction for Shopify on the other side of the map. Just takes that timing, takes that information, and completely overtakes that A site.
Time for C9 to try to make this comeback, but it's not looking good from how the pacing, how the story has continued on for Shopify Rebellion, the dominant attacker half that we've seen so far. Full gun round coming out for C9 White. So do have 2 ults to work with.
And Shopify Rebellion are playing a lot of mind games right now. You can see on the minimap that bENITA has already used her wall towards this A. The last round was an A hit. So with this wall at A, they decide to go B with the KO ult.
Katsumi with the Hunter's Fury, though. And look
It's
at the
another
backtrack.
fake.
It all has to come down to Mel towards this A site. Waiting right now at the corner. She does get the headshot onto bENITA. And the rest now holding their ground. We've lost both extremities, both fakes, both rotates. So it's up to KP, Lorri, and flowerful to fight back. Mel on the top of the rafters. The res comes out. Mel jumps on the top. She's gonna get caught by KP on the left side. But no, this might be it. There's only two left. Make that only Bob. A 2 versus 1 against KP and flowerful. Flowerful on top of the A tower. Everything lays down on this. That's gotta be it. Shopify Rebellion eliminate Cloud9 White for the VCT Game Changers Championship.
And that's gotta feel so good. Look how much it means to them to beat them after getting beat online all the time for the last 2 years. Finally, on LAN, they're able to have a statement series and just dominate in the third.
I don't know if you saw that, but look at KP. Go home, go home. You had the interview with KP. You remember the Twitter fingers that she wanted to tweet out onto Cloud9, onto the stage? Of course, it was to hold a trophy.
Yes.
But at least at this time, this is a great stepping stone for the confidence moving into the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely.